Hello, I'm Jonathan Tremaine, and I'm here with Donisha Boswell and Stuart Greaves, and we're just having a discussion. We were talking about the crisis in the Black community, and not only just the crisis, but even we've spoken about our identity as crisis, because there's so many issues that are plaguing us as a group of people, as a people group, and in fact, we can go statistically, you can Google it, you can pull it up, and the issues are blatantly in our face. What are some of the things, the burdens that the Lord has put on your heart concerning the crisis in the Black community?
Because of the type of family I come from, we were in the inner city, you know, in what we would call the projects. I have 6 brothers without father. Yeah. All of them have no father, and my heart really is going out to the young Black men who have no leadership in the home. And most of them, I have 3 of them who are in prison out of those 6. And many of them just they feel lost. And so that, I feel like that is a real crisis for me, because I have to encounter them on, you know, a regular basis. Yeah. And I don't know, my heart is just broken to see so many young Black men without any leadership.
So the issue of fatherlessness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a generational issue. You see the effects or the fruits of that fatherlessness or that orphanhood. It's just been passed down almost, you know, incessantly. There's just been this continuous curse of fatherlessness on the Black community. Yeah. And then you have the fruits of that are really that our prisons are filled with young Black men and older Black men, because the fathers are in the prisons, and our graveyards are filled. And so you see the manifestation of a death decree, not only through that curse, but through the issues of abortion, which really can be tied back to fatherlessness. Right. How do we respond to these crisis issues? There's so many, it can almost seem overwhelming. The political arena is not able to fix it. The church has been really had minimal fruit in fixing and breaking that curse. What's the answer?
No, I mean, I think we said it's so true. It can be overwhelming. In fact, you know, when I think about the various issues, you know, I think of the game Twister. Yeah. You know, where you put your hand on one dot, put your hand on another dot, and then the frustration of that game is at some point you don't feel like you have enough limbs, you know, to put your hand in all the spots. And I think there's so many issues, and we all care about those issues, whether it be the issue of abortion or fatherlessness or the issue of heart disease. There's so many things. I mean, I think some of the stats actually say that we are decreasing, you know, as a people group because of these dynamics, and so it can be very overwhelming. And I think that the primary thing we need to give ourselves, so it's not the only thing, because we do need to give ourselves to social action and evangelism and so forth, and getting involved even in the political arena and so forth. But the thing that needs to be at the tip of the arrow in terms of the pursuit of justice, so to speak, within the Black community is the issue of intercession. Right. You know, Jesus says in Luke 18, he says that night and day intercession precedes justice. Right. And that's the issue. You know, in fact, that is the cry of the Black community, is give us justice. Give us justice. The Lord goes, well, you get the justice in the context of crying out to the Lord day and night. So the issue of intercession is the thing that is really key before us in this hour.
Well, I think you even mentioned heart disease, and I do a lot of speaking on abortion, the issue of abortion. You know, the statistics are overwhelming, that we really are increasing or decreasing at an increasing rate. But you know, statistically, what's measured as the #1 killer of African Americans is heart disease. And you know, I was kind of thinking on that, and then I realized, you know what, it really is heart disease. It's a diseased heart that would cause a mother to rip her baby out of the womb. It's a diseased heart that would cause a man to find his identity in his libido. You know, it's the diseased heart, and so God is going after that. There is no justice without righteousness, and so that righteousness begins to be worked in us in a place of intercession and prayer.
Yeah, we need something in this hour that moves the heart of God and that moves angels and demons. I mean, you know, I mean, the cities of this nation, they are under an oppression. You used the term death decree, and And the only thing that will shift that death decree is day and night prayer for speedy justice. I think of Daniel 9, where Daniel gives himself to fasting and prayer.
Yeah.
And as he does that, the angel Gabriel comes to him.
Right.
But Gabriel says one of the most surprising things to Daniel. He says, I've come because of your words. In other words, when Daniel began to pray, the angel was released.
Right.
And we know that the angel then got opposed by a demonic spirit.
Right.
Daniel keeps praying. Another angel is released and displaces that demonic spirit. And the breakthrough comes to Daniel.
Yeah.
And so the breakthrough that we need in black families, black congregations, black neighborhoods. I mean, the breakthrough that we need, that we're looking for, is in the place of intercession, crying out day and night, whatever form.
Right.
but I so long to see an army of young adults giving themselves to fasting and prayer in the black community to begin contending for the breakthrough of God.
And this is not a foreign concept to the black community.
Not even remotely.
Everybody, every thug on the street's got a praying grandmama somewhere or a praying mother.
Sure.
I mean, you're a praying woman. I mean,
Yeah.
how does that translate even in your life?
How it translates for me is being woke up at 2 in the morning to pray for my brother who is being chased down by someone,
Wow.
his life being threatened. And me not knowing, and I pray and intervene, and his life is spared,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, God did that. God did that, and that testifies to him.
Right.
And it shifts his eyes toward him, and it becomes a testimony to many of the ones who are lost to say, God kept me, and that's what causes them to come into the truth and the light of who he really is, So I really believe that, as we focus more on him, on God, on him being the one that can intervene in these issues and actually stop, the abortions, stop the mothers who are in the abortion clinics, the young boys who don't have a father, being a father to them, then we are on our knees a little bit more in a place of prayer, because we know that he can break in, and his message is greater, so.
Well, and I just believe that God meets us at the level of our hunger.
Yeah.
And hunger only is formed in us in the midst of famine. And I would say that we're in a famine, we're in a time of famine economically. Many of us are in a famine spiritually. And so this is a time for those who are hungry to contend and lay hold of God for our generation. So thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you at the stand.